everyone. I'm just making a quick video for anyone out there like myself who are into watercolor, particularly Inktense pencils and using water brushes, especially with adult coloring, etc. And so I recently purchased the full 72 set. I always had I originally gotten like I think a 12 set, and finally I just went and got the 72. This was on sale on Amazon. So I grabbed it while it was on sale. And then I also, because I wanted to, oops, drop my cover. With Inktense, of course, you need to have some kind of system for testing it first. You have to have them a swatch, right? Because they look totally different, wet and dry. And so I bought this as well, which is a painter from Amazon as well. The Painter's Color Diary, small 6x8. All you need is a 6x8 in my case, because it's like 36 colors in each page. And there's, I think, 10 pages here. Yeah, 10 pages. And they're removable too if you want to, on a spiral here. So you don't have to keep it all in the book. But anyways, the point I want to make here is I was doing this swatching and I thought, some people might not realize this, and I didn't realize this. And that is that the Caran D'Ache has these water brushes, and there's one water brush they have that looks like a marker. It's like a marker tip. So these are the 3 brushes I got when I got a Caran D'Ache water brushes. And so a smaller tip, a larger tip, a regular water brush tip there. And then there's this one that looks like a magic marker tip. And originally, when I got the magic marker one, I thought I'm not going to use that, because normally I paint larger things. I wasn't using watercolor so much in coloring books yet. And then I decided to use the marker. So it's exactly like using a magic marker, but with water. So I just wanted to show you. I mean, it's so awesome. I'm like, wow. I wonder if everybody knows about this. I mean, I'm sure most people do, but if you don't, it's a great, especially for swatching here. So I laid the color down of all the Inktense pencils here, and yeah, using this magic marker tip of water really allows you to stay within the lines, and it's so easy to use. It's really just like using a magic marker. And I never use markers. I'm not into using the Copic markers and all that so much as others. I've got my hands full with watercolor and color pencils and Inktense pencils, so I'm sticking to that. But I do highly recommend this Caran D'Ache water brush set with the magic marker tip, especially if you're thinking of using any kind of watercolor pencil with any type of line work or adult coloring books or whatnot, because it really is excellent at allowing you to, and even just with swatching, it really allows you to stay within the lines very easily, and it works wonderfully. You just gotta, very easy to clean in between with a paper towel. And wow, it just makes it so much easier. Especially with Inktense watercolor pencils, they look entirely different wet and dry. So you have to have I think you have to have a swatch to use them effectively, to know what colors you want to use. But wow, this watercolor marker tip is just perfect for this. Because I had already done some swatches with my regular watercolor set with a brush. I can show you. Okay, these are the paints with when I used a brush, and you can see it's kind of sloppy a little bit, trying to keep it within the lines, because normally, you don't use a paintbrush to paint within the lines. I mean, it still looks good, but wow, when using these color pencils, these Inktense pencils with this, it just gives you so much more control. Gives you more, it's just perfect. Like, wow, I can't believe how well this works. I'd never have thought of this. Using water with, makes sense. We use water with a marker tip. And you don't need any bucket of water or, you know, you can use it anywhere. So if you like making perfectly neat swatching, or if you use coloring books, highly recommend this Caran D'Ache. So this really opens up new ideas for me, because now it seems with this, it's like any watercolor color I have, and I have hundreds, can be used similar to a magic marker. And it can be layered as such, because especially with Inktense, you can, once it dries, it's permanent. As long as you get it all activated. Sometimes if you color with too heavy a hand and there's a lot of granules in there, if you don't get it all activated with the water, all dissolved in the water, there may be certain pieces that haven't. But in general, as long as you get it all saturated with the water, dissolve it all. Once it's painted on, it's permanent, so then you can easily glaze over it. I mean, you can glaze over easily with watercolor too, but especially Inktense. Inktense is permanent once it's dry, so you can just layer and layer and layer and layer and layer, many more layers, I think, than watercolor. if you want to add so many layers. Usually only a few layers do, especially with the intense colors, because they are so... Inktense is so intense, so you don't really need to add... you do need to add a few layers. The first layer is often not very bright, and depending on how hard you usually, but if it's usually pretty light if you're using a brush. If you dissolve it all, and then you can, but you can get it so vibrant, as you can see here, how dark it gets. So, of course, you have to move quickly. I mean, you always have to move quickly with watercolor in general. But again, if you're just doing a coloring page, coloring book, or a swatching, you don't... It's pretty quick work. There you have it. Record time, did all these swatches. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.